What's going on, guys? How you guys doing? Can you guys hear me good? Put a 1 if you guys can hear me. What's up, guys? So today I wanted to talk about the court system and the relationship, how it affects your relationship with your kids. Like, no, she don't. None of those women want none of this shit. Like, they just do the same shaming tactics over and over again, and like that's all they got. That's the only thing that they got in their bag. But a lot of the problem that they have when it comes to the court system with your family and your kids is it makes it hard. Like it makes it hard for you to have a relationship with your kids because your kids become more of a bill and they're used more as a pawn against you. I'm gonna open up the live stream and bring callers in. I'm 31. I turned 31 in March. Shout out MTR. How you doing, bro? I'm shocked you jumped in this motherfucker. Oh man, to have MTR in my stream makes you feel pretty good. Not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Let me turn off my volume real quick. I had to come over here and bless you real quick. Hold on. Listen, I'm going to put off what I had to do for 5 minutes just to bless you real quick. Oh, shit. My audio is crazy. Hold on. Listen, I'm going to put off what I had to do for 5 minutes. I can't believe I just did that. I get mad when people do that to me. My bad, bro. How are you? Shit, I can't hear. Hold up. I don't know how I'm gonna be able to hear you. Feel free to take me off, bro. I'm messing up your stream right now. I can't hear you though. I think everyone else can hear you though. I can't hear you. I can't hear him. I can't hear him. Oh, I thought it was me. Yeah, Kyle, they can't hear you. I thought it was me. Because I cut off the shit and then
Yeah, you're good, bro.
Okay. Why can I hear Kyle? There's something wrong with my audio. Listen, real quick. I gotta actually run out of here, but I just wanted to come on. I just want to come on here and just bless you real quick and just say congratulations. You know what I'm saying? We talk about on the channel all the time, being able to see a goal and being able to start it and to go on that path to be able to start it. You know what I'm saying? So I can't talk much to what you're gonna get in here tonight, but I just want to just come on and just say congratulations for getting started, my G. You know what I'm saying? You're already on the Patreon gang, so you got any questions that you're gonna be asking as you go through, you know what I'm saying, on your journey, just feel free and let me know. We got the family up there, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just contacted Timbot actually during your stream.
Okay, for like design, for design stuff.
Yeah.
He's talented as hell, bro. He's mega talented. He's mega talented.
Yeah, he goes with, just so you know,
Yeah.
I'm expensive. I was like, okay.
Yeah, he's gonna charge you the professional cost, right, as well. So, it's all about, we talked about last
I
night.
don't really care.
How to invest.
Yeah. No, I expected to pay, but he was like, just so you know, I'm expensive. And I was like, well, that's why I'm hitting you up, because I can doodle. Like,
Yeah. Well, yeah. He is, but you already saw the power that he put in the into the part of the masculinity stuff. So, man. But good luck on that, man. But listen, man, I'm gonna hop out of here. I'm gonna let you have the conversation. I gotta run. I'm gonna let you have the conversation the best way that you know how. It's your first time getting up here. I just want to say congrats. You know what I mean? All right, bro.
I appreciate it, bro. Yeah.
All right, man. Enjoy.
Come on, Ash, get down. Get down. I'm in the line. Just go, bro. Yeah, I know. I totally get it. I have no problem paying for it. I get it. I get it. It's totally understand. I wasn't expecting nothing free. I wasn't. It's funny when it's like, hey, just so you know, I'm expensive. Oh, okay, that's cool. But I'm gonna put the link back down here. So the reason that I wanted to talk about fatherhood and the court system is because a lot of it you really don't understand it until you get involved in it. So like for me, being a father was a big deal. Like I was very excited to have my boy, and like his mom knew that, and whenever she'd get mad at me, she would take him from me. So I wasn't on the birth certificate. I wasn't there to sign it because I had to work that day. But she ended up like getting mad at me and not letting me see him for some months or something like that. So I ended up going and putting myself on child support, because in order to establish paternity, you have to go to child support, and you open a case, and then they test you, and then after it comes back, then you go to child support, then like all that good stuff. So starting out to see my kid, it was pretty expensive. It cost me like $6,000 in lawyer fees, and then I got put on $1,300 a month child support, and I was making about $34,000 a year at the time. So that's like 16 grand a year in child support before taxes. And then yeah, like even though I pay child support, like I just went from February 28th until April. Till April. I didn't get to see my son from the end of February to the middle of March, or the middle of April, because his mom changed her number and she gave me the wrong number. So she thought that I just wasn't trying to see him. And I went over there a couple times trying to get him, and she wasn't home. And anytime that I tried to find out, she just gave me the runaround. So it was, she said she assumed that, I just didn't want to see him. So she wasn't going to reach out to me, because women are petty when they have your kids. And like, it's hard because at some level, like, I'm going to be honest with you, like when I date women, they get mad at me a lot, because like if my son's mom starts acting up, like I just won't deal with it. Like I just don't go see my son. I'm not going to kowtow to a woman, because they already have enough power as it is. But my daughter's mom's bullshit's even worse. Like like the way the court system is, I kind of don't even really want to see my daughter because I hate her mom so much. Like, to be honest, like I didn't even want my daughter in any, like I didn't want my daughter. I tried not to get her mom pregnant, all that stuff. Yeah, they could take up to 3/4 of your income. Yeah, it's rough out here, bro. And you're responsible for all their debt. Like anything that if you go to court, you have to pay for their attorney. Got to pay for your attorney. Got to pay for your kid's attorney. Everything. It comes out of your pocket. Yeah, so I contested. So the way it works is they give you a child support order, and after you pay the child support order, you have 30 days to contest it. I had to pay another attorney, pay him $1,000 to get my child support lowered, and he told me I'd be in court in like 2 or 3 weeks, and I ended up being, I think it was 6 months, 4 months, 5 months. It took me to go back to child support court. No, I've got 59. I have 4951 non-custodial parent. And with my daughter, I have no custody. I'm still in the court system waiting for that because of coronavirus, everything stopped. Yeah, I was broke. Like let me tell you. So, like, this is how crazy this shit is, okay? So, I paid all this money. Before I was on child support, I paid everything for my son. If my son's mom said she needed diapers, if she said she needed formula, if she said that he needed fucking socks, clothes, if he needed lotion, if he needed anything at all, I got it. When we went to child support court, the court was going to try to back charge me for all the child support from the day he was born. And she told them in court, like, he pays for everything. Like, I don't have to ask for anything. He just pays for it. My son's taken care of just fine. So they didn't make me pay back child support. But when we went to my custody agreement said that I didn't have to pay for his health insurance. But when I went to child support court, they said it would make them feel better knowing that I'm they said it'd make them feel better knowing that there are taxpayers that I pay for his health insurance. So they put that in my child support order. So I had a court order that said that I did not have to pay, and then I had a child support order that said I did have to pay. So I had 2 orders that no matter which one I did, I violated one of them. It is important to keep receipts, but at the end of the day, like, it's up to the judge. Like, it really doesn't matter. Either you're going to owe the money or you're not going to owe the money. Just like you never give your son's mom cash. You never give them cash, ever. You never give them cash. Here, I'm gonna show you guys a picture real quick so you can see. Like, these are my kids. So those are my kids. This right here is my son Liam. This is my daughter Tegan. He's 3. She'll be 1 on June 1st. Did you guys end up seeing that? Did it show you my screen? This is my son right here. This is Liam. And then this is my daughter Tegan. He's 3. She's 1. Well, I showed it. You guys should have been able to see it. No, they're cool, bro. They're good. But yeah, so like it seems like every single time that I end up getting done with the court system, or I get done with some crap with the baby mom, it comes back around. So like I'm not thanks bud. Dave, I'm not sure. Do you remember hearing about that murder that happened over in Warrensville Heights in that motel room? That dude that got stabbed to death? It was about two years ago, like around Christmas. Well, that was my son's grandmother who stabbed the guy. So I was paying child support to his mom, and they were living in a hotel room, and there was nothing I could do. Like I couldn't get custody when I called CPS because my son's mom was living with her sister in a project with 6 kids. And there was 2 adults, 6 kids in a 4-bedroom apartment, and her sister kept the apartment trash. Like one time I went upstairs to piss, and there was open cans of vegetables just throughout, like all over the clothes, like trash everywhere. Well, it ended up coming down that his mom was doing something I wasn't agreeing with, so I called CPS, and CPS pretty much told me that like it doesn't matter. Like the lady on CPS told me that if my son's mom lost her place to live, that it was personally my responsibility to pay her to have an apartment. Like I need to make sure she has a place to live so that my kids weren't on the street. That's what the people at CPS told me in Cleveland, Ohio. Yes, 2 adults, 6 kids. There was a guy a few years ago. His daughter was killed. He had called CPS. A teacher had called CPS. A nurse had called CPS. Like there was multiple CPS cases, and CPS went out and said that there was no evidence to pull the kid. And then the third time that CPS got called, they made an appointment on March 12th to meet to see the child, and the kid died on the 11th. And she was like beaten for hours. She died of a seizure. Her feet were burned. Like all sorts of crazy stuff happened. And yeah. Yep. That happened here in Cleveland. don't make pies. Listen, bro, listen. The reason I got my son's mom pregnant was because I thought I was sterile. All right. And my second child's mom trapped me. Like, I was trying to not get this girl pregnant. I stopped dealing with this girl. And she got pregnant on purpose, even with me trying not to get her pregnant. I'm not out here just doing stupid stuff. Like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Hey, some people like feet, some people like red bones, some like yellows, some people like pies, man, you know, to each their own. But yeah, like, I don't know if any of you guys have kids. I know Lawrence has kids, but like, so when my son's mom was living with her sister, she moved in with her sister to another place, and then they moved into a motel. And then from the hotel, her sister moved out of the motel, and her mom, her, and my two kids were sleeping in a one bed motel room while I was paying her child support, and her mom's boyfriend was beating her mom in front of my kids and in front of her. So I went and got him. I went and got the kids and beat him up. And then I took the kids to live with me, and I had her stay with me. Now, you would think that like I was doing the right thing, which I felt in the time that I was doing the right thing. But after the fact, I decided that I'll never do that again, because I let her stay with me while I paid her child support, while I paid all the bills, while I paid for everything the kids needed, because I had my son and she had her daughter, and her daughter's father's in prison, and I've been taking care of her since she was 18 months old. So like, I'm the only man she knows, so I didn't want her to be stuck. So I took them in and took care of them so that she could get enough money to get an apartment. And so I helped her get the apartment, and I was supposed to file taxes for my son that year. So after she moved in with me, she stayed with me, and then she got her place, and then she filed taxes. Yeah, like, she filed taxes and screwed me. Like, the amount of financial instability that I've received from having the court system in my life with my kids. Like, I lost my apartment last year around March. Yeah, like, I had to move in with my parents last year for 27 days. And then when I went from living at my apartment, my mom's house, I couldn't, like, I lived at my mom's house at 17, and I didn't move back to last year for less than a month. I moved to Cleveland again and was living in an attic for a month until I could get an apartment. Yeah. And when she gets mad, she tells me that I don't see my kid enough, and that I work too much, and that I care about money more than my kid. And she's called me a racist because I had a girlfriend that called me the N-word, and I broke up with her. But because she called me that, I am now racist to my son's mom when she's mad. It makes no sense. Like, it's hard. Like, man, there's a lot of times like I just want to give up. Like, there's been a lot of times I've wanted to give up, like periods of not being able to see my kids. Like, I literally know, like, when I was paying $1,300 a month, I went from making $700 a week to making $200 a week for 6 months, and I had to live off $800. Like this, the stuff that's going on with my daughter's mom right now. Like, she was using, and CPS was called, and CPS won't take her from it. Like, CPS will not take my daughter. they helped her get into a house for women with drug problems. She's living in a sober house now. They're giving her cash assistance. They're giving her welfare. They're giving her WIC. They're getting her a job. They're getting her an apartment. Like, they're doing everything for her. And CPS and them told her that I'm allowed to have as much custody as she's willing to give me. And I've been sober for 5 years. She's been sober for 5 months. And my daughter's mom is crazy, and my son's mom is petty. So like at any given day, I could have 2 women mad at me, and my girlfriend can also be mad at me. So that's 3 women. I don't know if you know this, but 3 women mad at you at the same time can be pretty miserable. like my son loves me, like, and it kills me that like I can't have my son or be there with my son, or like do a lot of the stuff that my son needs to know. Like, his mom doesn't discipline him, so like when he's with her, he's just a bad kid. Like, he sprayed his aunt's television with water a couple weeks ago and ruined her TV. His hair was braided, and he got some scissors and started cutting his hair. So like 5 braids on this side are super short from him cutting it. But when he's with me, he doesn't do that stuff. Like, it's hard being a dad, especially since like all I've ever wanted to be was a father. Like, that's all I've ever wanted to be. I've wanted to be a father since I was a kid. I love kids. Like, my son absolutely adores me. So if like, take precautions. If you can avoid it, don't have sex with women and get them pregnant. Like, that's all you can really do. Like you got to think, I've been sober for 5 years, and during this time of me being sober, I've literally been put through the ringer by my son's mom and the court system and all that stuff. So like, there's been times that like I've wanted to use. There's been times that I've wanted just to go get locked up again. Like that's the hardest stuff. That's the stuff that really can break you, for real. My dad was and was not in my life. My parents got divorced when I was like 7, and my mom did what all women do, and they tell the children how bad the dad is, and like they say how bad she told me how bad my dad was, and made me think that my dad was a monster. And I didn't like my dad. I didn't talk to my dad from the time I was like 13 until I was like 19 or 20. And then my dad died back in like 2014. That's what got me sober. So like, I really didn't have the relationship that I should have had with my dad because of my mom and because of my drug use. Yeah, kids are like women. They act up. They just need to be checked. They test their boundaries. Like, so this is how crazy this is. So I have my son's mom that I have problems with. I've got my daughter's mom that I've got problems with. I've got a PO who I've been on probation with since 2013. Like, I have a girlfriend, so I have 4 people that are constantly expecting me to to check in. like, uh,
You are back. Oh shit, I'm back on the show. Damn, that was fast. All right, what's up, bro?
what's up, dude?
Ain't shit, man. Yeah, man, I'm hearing your story and everything, and I'm like, man, makes me not want to walk down the path that you walk down, man. Like you saying that the type of shit that you're dealing with the different baby moms. God damn, bro. Yeah, that's sad, man. But the good thing is that you're here. You know, you're here today, and you got like a level head. You know. But my question to you, right? Uh, are you like upset with all women because of this, or can you differentiate between the ones that were harmful to the ones that you may be with today?
No, I don't hate women, dude. Women are my like if I was Superman, women are my kryptonite. Like I love women. Like
Mm,
like I just love women. And I just like it doesn't make me hate them, but it makes me like one, I don't trust people as it is. Like I just don't. And like when I talk to women and I hear like keywords, automatically like everything shuts down. Like I know that you need to be on that side of the wall. I can't let you on this side of the wall because you just scandalous.
yeah,
Like I just don't allow I because of what I've gone through. I don't allow women to lure me in. Like I won't budge. Like I won't budge on stuff. Like I don't bend to women anymore. Like I was blue pill. Like I can tell you a whole bunch of stories about me just doing simp stuff when I was younger. And I was like,
yeah,
okay, no.
yeah. Okay. I mean, because
Does any does anyone in the chat does anyone in the chat have does anyone in the chat have kids besides Lawrence? Sorry, go ahead, Black. You're saying?
no, no, no. I just saw what he said. We don't hate women. Because the thing is that I'm like I watched the red pill community and I watched the big tail community, and it's like I don't hear accountability on their part. Like I think that we see the signs of toxicness within before, because I think men we have a lot of sense before, but we just ignore it in hopes that we can like change shit instead of accepting the shit for what it really is. And it's like I see a lot of like just like it's like how the feminists be like coming together and like forming this whole hate men shit. It seems like the red pill is looking like the feminists. It's like they're reflecting that energy. And to me, it's like, yo, this is going to continue going and it's just going to build a big ass separation rather than understanding. Because I think when you gain understanding, you know how to operate a little better rather than be like, yo, a lot of red pill, I would say immature red pill people would be like, yo, fuck them bitches, fuck them to sleep, use them, do what they do to you kind of thing. So I don't know if that's the energy that you're giving because I see that it's the stories that you share, you have the right to feel the way that you feel because you've been wrong. But are you at that point where it's like, I'm just gonna fucking use them the same way they use me?
No. I don't. So how can I put this? So when you're at a party, like back when you were younger and you guys you were at a party, and like you saw that girl that was drinking and she was on every single dude in the party. And can anyone relate to that? Anyone ever gone to a party with a loose girl? Seen a loose girl just streaming around the party looking for a dude? Well, if you end up seeing a crazy chick like that, that's whenever you hang out with her, she's always drinking, she's always with a new dude. Or when you go to a party with her, she's always hanging on random people. Like, obviously, you pump it, you dump it, that's it. Like, that's it. You ain't kicking it. You don't hang out with her. Like, you just call her, let her slide through. You slide through, you slide out. You have to treat, like, all women have the same tendencies. Like, they all have the same tendencies. My girlfriend has some of the same tendencies of like her getting mad when I say stuff about men and women, or like wants to give women the out sometimes, or like tries to say that she understands how I feel about it. They all have that same idea. Like all women have that same idea. They all like kowtow to each other. They all like want to see the woman as a victim. But you have to use women, like, you treat a woman for how she's worth. If all she can offer you is that peace leave, then that's all you get from that peace leave. If that woman is better than that, then you treat her better than that. Like, if a chick hits me up and goes, "Hey, I'm trying to be the caboose," all right, then like I'm dogging. Like, me and my dudes are dogging. Just that simple. But I'm not gonna see some chick that I go out for coffee with and have drinks with or something, or have dinner with, and automatically be like, "You into cabooses?" Like you have to know your audience. Like, you shouldn't just like. I don't trust women in general just because there's really no reason to trust women. You're at a disadvantage if you trust women. Like I don't know how many of you guys live in a bad neighborhood. Hold on 1 second. 1 second, guys. I have to switch headphones. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, like that whole thing about you can't turn a hoe into a housewife, like that's a true statement. Like, there's some girls that are just cool to hang out with, have fun with, and there's some girls that you treat and you get married to if you're into getting married. Myself personally, I don't believe that there's any benefit to being married unless you have kids or you want to have kids. If you're a single man that doesn't want kids, then there's absolutely no reason to get married. Yeah, like I don't hate women.
Yeah, nah, it's just that
I don't hate women at all. Like I treat my girlfriend lovely. Sometimes she doesn't feel that way, but you know,
yeah,
to each their own.
I just like a lot of the red pill that you know. Like
Oh, I can.
See. On my phone.
I can't hear you.
Oh, damn! Can't hear me. Let me see the audio.
Hold on 1 second. I think it's in my settings.
Yo. Yo.
Can you get?
Yo.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. Yeah, so what I was saying was, is it a bitterness? Because you know, that's the conclusion that I came to with watching a lot of the red pills. It's like you got wronged, and now it's like you realize female nature, but then you become bitter, and it's like, well, since I'm bitter, I'm gonna be fucked up and foul from this point forward. And I don't necessarily agree with marriage myself. I used to when I was, like they say, blue pill. I'm put the quotations because I don't really care for that type of stuff. But when I was not aware of female nature, I used to believe in that shit. I used to think that, oh, you know, I'm gonna get married and all that shit. But now that I've grown and I experienced a lot, I went through my bitter stage, but then I overcame it and I just grew to accept shit. And it was like, okay, I'm not doing what makes me happy. I'm just doing, I thought that I was supposed to compromise myself in certain occasions. And I realized that that don't make me happy. So now it's like, I just do whatever makes me happy and what makes me feel like I follow my own moral grounds, and I don't allow another person or a female or like religion or all that shit to like dictate where I'm going in my future, where I'm headed. So I just do whatever makes me happy. And it's like, I see a lot of bitterness. That's what I'm seeing. Like, it's just a lot of angry stories and like, yo, these bitches did this to me and da 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 da. But it's like, what is the role that you play with making that energy come towards you? Because it's not just a one-way street. I think it's a two-way street. And I think as men, a lot of men don't take accountability of what they've done to encounter or their part with the encounter with, say, a toxic woman or something like that.
Well, there's a couple of things to that. So you don't have to do anything for someone to do something wrong to you. Like, you literally you can just be walking down the street and someone can mug you. You didn't bring that to you. Like, there are things that are sometimes not. Yeah, I'm tired, bro. There's sometimes that you just don't do anything and it brings stuff comes to you. But knowing your part is different than like you causing it. Like, causing it is more like saying that, like, how'd you cause it is more of a victim thing. You're a part in it. Well, if I wasn't dating that chick when all my friends told me that she was no good, that's my part. That I still stay with that chick when I had all the signs. Like a woman stabs you because you catch her cheating. You didn't do nothing wrong by catching her cheating. She's just crazy. But she stabs you because you hit her. Well, then it's your fault because you hit her. Like when you use language like that, a lot of the times that language is set up to give a certain narrative. And the problem with men is all the narratives these days are being painted against us. Like, even if men are getting better, why wouldn't you not be better? You watch a Gillette commercial. You can't even have a shaving commercial for men that's telling you need to be a better man. Like,
I didn't see that commercial, but I feel you. Yeah, yo, I just think that we just need to stop being so bitter and be strong again, man. Like, stand up to these women. Stop allowing the beauty to paralyze us. Because that's the weakness that, like you said, that women are your kryptonite. I think it's the beauty that they possess. It paralyzes a lot of men, and they don't understand this is some game for you, men. Since you named me blue pill and all that stuff, 'cause I ain't no fucking blue pill. Let's make this very clear. Very much not a blue pill. Not a red pill neither. I'm not a purple pill. I'm none of these pills. But what I'm saying is, like, I just think that if you listen to women and you listen to what they be saying and what they obsess over, it's always what we have naturally, which is strength. Like, you hear, I'm a strong woman, or these feminists, we're strong, and all of they never say they're beautiful. They never say nothing like that. They say, oh, I'm strong this, I'm strong that. If you you walk down the block and you talk to a girl and she gets strong on you and all that. I think that if we embrace our strength, it just naturally makes them act natural. Like, they're going to test your strength to see if it's authentic. And if you don't cower to their beauty, or if you don't paralyze because they're beautiful, because I think that's every man's like weakness is that. But I think their weakness is our strength, and they hate the fact that we have strength, and they don't, because that's the one thing they don't have, because beauty has everything else. And the same way that we obsess over their looks and all that shit, and how guys get insecure, the first thing they say is, I don't look good enough or whatever. Like, oh, the reason why she chose him is because I don't look good. That's our weakness. We be telling on ourselves. So I think that if we just embrace our strength, it will make the balance happen. If we do not kowtow to it.
Do you know how the balance is going to happen?
How?
The balance is going to happen when men stop messing with women, and women have to go out and actually do something, and they can't plunder our resources, and they can't get money from the government. Until welfare's ended, until alimony and child support payments aren't made, women they're not going to change.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I feel you, and I agree. But that's talking like money and all that stuff, right? That's talking like the reality of, like, we were born into the society where it's like in favor of that lifestyle, right? But I'm talking about, like, as human beings, like, if we just embrace ourselves and we stand firm on who we are naturally, it just naturally they're going to reflect what we are.
Yeah, but do you have a job? Do you work somewhere?
Yeah.
Are you guys still working?
Well, I'm an essential worker. I work for Domino's.
Okay, so tomorrow when you go to work, the next day you go to work, go in there and go on strike. Just you.
No, I understand your point. Don't get me wrong. I understand your point.
Like, as long as you have simps that are sending $1,000 to dudes saying, here's $1,000, spend it on your boyfriend because he's great. Like, the women are their values inflated. Like, they don't have to take accountability. They don't have to do self-reflection. No matter what happens, they always end up good. And you have simp dudes out here.
That's what I'm saying to you. Like, if men stop not like one dude holds a woman accountable, right? Say a woman wrongs a dude, and another dude, because she's so sexy to the dude, he will then be like, yo, he's a fucking fool, instead of telling the woman the truth. And that's where I'm saying, like, if we just embrace the strength that we have and embrace our natural strength and would just be as us and tell the truth and live in the truth, that woman will no longer be like stuck. What am I saying? That woman will no longer not be accountable for her shit, because we are sticking to the truth of what happened. Like, you're right in what you're saying, but that's because people are supporting the fact that she's not being held accountable. A bunch of men, a bunch of women, they just rally together and then they support the person who's doing the wrong thing to a person. Like, it's not right that the woman, your baby moms and all that stuff, not to say nothing negative about them, but like,
Go ahead.
that they're taking advantage of you doing the right thing, or you trying to do the right thing. But we have to band together. Like, it can't just be you by yourself, and then because she got a fat ass, oh, let me just, because I'm trying to deep down, I'm trying to get to that ass, and by any means necessary, I'm starving sexually, so I'm trying to get to that ass. Like, that's the problem that I see. Is like, I just see a lot of lonely men, and it's like they kowtow to these women and they don't hold them accountable, because I can fuck up my chances of getting some ass from them. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it goes both ways. They need dick the same way we need that. Sorry to be so vulgar and all that shit, but they need this. They need dick the same way. And if we are insecure within ourselves, we allow that shit to happen. And I see a lot of men allow that shit to happen. Then they want to complain about, oh, women are fucked up, da 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 da. No, we need to hold these women accountable for when they do the wrong thing. And we need to stand together and not budge because of some booty or whatever. I'm not saying starve yourself, man. I'm just saying we need to stand up and stop being so lenient with them and start being like, yo, this is wrong what you're doing, and I don't have to stand for it. I'm not going to stand for it. I'm not
So
saying in your case, it's not realistic now. That's what I'm saying. Like, we have to raise tomorrow to be that way so it could change, because it's not going to happen in a day. I know that. It's not going to happen in our generation. I know that. But I'm saying we need to raise our men to start standing in their strength and stop cowering to the woman's beauty and becoming paralyzed by their beauty. I'm not bitter, y'all. I'm just saying.
yeah, I'm not bitter, but at the same time, why do you think I go so hard on these women in MTR's chats? Because these not like, listen, guys, I'm gonna shout out Ivy League Cutie 89. She was trying to say that she don't date dudes with kids, and I was trying to inform her that the reason that she thinks that that's okay is because she thinks she's an 8, and when she's only a 6 on a good day. Like,
That's another thing. That's another thing. We got to start telling them the truth of where we rate them. That's another thing. Like, we always like catering to their sensitivity. No, we have to tell them the truth. And even if our truth is shallow or chauvinistic, well, not chauvinistic, shallow. Yeah, like, say what it is. Say your opinion. State your opinion. Because trust me, they're doing that shit to us. So I just say live in your truth. Don't compromise yourself. That's the thing that I've learned after my whole bitterness. When I went through my bitter stage, I was like, damn, why the fuck am I always like catering to their sensitivity? Like, oh, I know she can't handle that, so let me not say that. No, sorry, you're gonna have to take that. Take that pain and deal with it. And that's what I think, that if we start doing that, the fairness will come back. Like, it will start being fair again. I'm not saying women should be in the kitchen and all that shit. I'm not traditional, none of that old school shit. I'm talking about treat me respectfully. I'm a man. You don't see me pouncing on you, using my strength to overpower you, because I have that respect for you. I know that it's an unfair balance. I expect you not to use your manipulation to try to get over on me. And that's what I'm saying. Like, until we stand up and speak this shit and talk to them directly, we just gonna be red pill for fucking ever. Talking about, oh, women nature and all that shit. Like, fuck all that women nature. Sorry. I'm very passionate. So these curses and all that shit is not like I'm upset. I'm just passionate. But yeah, it's just red pill is a moment of clarity. After the clarity happens, what do you do to improve? That's the question. How do you improve? How do you bring it together? How do you bring the fairness back? To complain about the fairness is not going to resolve the fairness. We have to do something with action. That means we have to change shit ourselves, within ourselves, and stop saying like, oh, if she sees herself as an 8, no, you're a 6. Stay in your place. Like, you understand. Sorry if I'm being shallow, but so what?
Don't say sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't say sorry. And just so you know, you can curse all you want because I'm not monetized. This is my first channel, so there's going to be no ad apocalypse. So don't worry about it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Trying to keep up with the chats.
Yeah, it's good. You guys can say whatever you want. Like, the only way this channel is going to be making money for a while is if off donations or anything like that. It takes 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of it takes 4,000 view hours to be able to be monetized.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were trying to shame the shit out of me. Like, the chick kept telling me to go argue with my baby mom. I'm like, I don't argue with my baby mom. That's why she get mad. What's up, Lawrence?
Hey, what's going on? I'm trying to figure out why I'm hearing an echo.
Let me see
if you have the YouTube up.
Thank you. That's exactly what it was. Thanks. Sorry about that.
You're good.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I just wanted to join in. It's good to see you up and running, man. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. But going back to something you guys were saying a minute ago about what was it? About women. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm sorry. I'm tired. About women having a high sense of value to themselves. The unfortunate part is like you said, a lot of that is them. I don't deny that, but we got to be honest. We put them there. We really did. And like you said, just for the sake of trying to get a piece of ass, we blow them up bigger than what they are just to get them to say yes. I mean, it's facts. It is what it is. And when you start getting to the point, and I think we talked about this a couple of times over in MTR's chats, when you are a high value man and like you're an 8, 9, or 10 and you sleeping with threes are going to automatically assume they can always get into 7, 8, 9. It's just what they're going to do. Once they get you once, they're going to assume they can get every man like you. And that's not the case. You were just something passing by. It was quick. It was easy. And you fell for it. And again, that's on us. That's on, because we do it. We do it. Yeah. And as far as it goes for getting young men and everybody straight on what they need to do, it's going to be hard because we don't have any access to that. I mean, right now, the way the system is set up is everything is given to the woman, and she's running that household. And you're talking about putting the insane people in charge of the asylum. That's literally what you're doing when you make a woman the head of a household and remove the man, because you're talking about somebody whose whims change at the drop of a dime. I mean, she can wake up in the morning and it's sunny. She sees one cloud and her world is ruined. It's just over, and everybody's got to suffer for it along with her, because that's her mentality. That's her mentality. If I'm having a bad day, the world's got to have a bad day. That's just how it works. You know.
That's
so
my fault. My fault. I apologize for jumping. That's what I'm saying. We don't need to like say, okay, I'm gonna have a bad day because she has one. No, like you are having a bad day. That's immature of you to have a bad day because the cloud is in the sky and it's bothering you. I'm not cowering to you no more. Like, I'm not doing that to make you feel better. No, the reality is you don't have control over everything.
exactly.
So if there's a cloud in the sky, so what?
What? And that's
Live your life. You have air to breathe. You see this shit, this pandemic shit.
Mhm.
That's some real shit for you. Like, we can't breathe air freely no more.
Well,
So what the fuck you worried about a fucking cloud in the sky for?
Well, that's the point. I'm not talking about us as men. I'm talking about them. This is who we have in charge of households. They break on the slightest of whim. As far as it goes for men, if we acted like that, which I've never seen one, but I'm sure they exist, they in their feminine space. I'm not talking about them. What I'm talking about is being able to get access as fathers to those young men that those women are cutting us off from. We can have court papers all day, every day saying that we have a right to see our kids. But if she wakes up in the morning and decides she just wants to be that little bitch, we're asked out. And the court will back her every time. They'll back her every time with no proof, no reason, no rhyme, just because she said so. And that's the thing that's fascinating, because they're breaking the very rules that they set down themselves. So that's what I'm saying. It's a no-win situation. You can't get access to those young boys to train them properly to learn what we learn now, because the woman who's in charge has already damaged their minds because she's so nuts. She's passing it through him. He's living through that. The second part is that the courts won't allow us to do it because they know if we do, we're going to break their system. They know if us as red pill fathers get our hands on them boys, we're going to break their system. They know this. Because as long as the vast majority of us are blinded, they can make money off us. But as soon as that veil starts to come off and the rest of us start talking to each other and teaching each other, especially the young ones, that system is done. No ifs, ands, or buts. That system is done. So it's taking those of us who are learning now to teach the rest in the immediate vicinity, like myself, Kyle, and some of the other guys in the chat. But the real key is to get them young boys, because that's the next generation whose backs they're gonna be trying to break, like they tried to break ours. That's one of the main reasons why, in addition to co-signing with her and her madness, that's one of the main reasons they keep us away from both boys and girls. Because you got to understand, I'm not taking anything away from the importance of mothers, not at all. But at the end of the day, the key to a functional human being is always going to be primarily the father, because he sets the rules and the guidelines for that house, top to bottom. Women can complain about that all they want to, but that is facts. We lay the rules top to bottom. That means we're going to teach a boy how to be a man, and we're going to teach that girl how to not to be out there with every Tom, Dick, and Harry, because you ain't learned that from your father. We control the whole thing. That's why they have to keep us out. That's why they have to keep us out. They have no choice, because like I said, if we get our hands on them kids and we start putting it back the way it was, they're going to lose their minds. They got no more victims, because we done taught the next generation not to fall for it.
See, that's the good thing about YouTube having the red pill community. I just don't want it to be where they don't mature out of it, and they have this bitterness where every single woman is blah, 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 and all that. Like, it's more like, okay, we're trying to fuse back together the disconnection that we have, and everything plays a role. Society, we're born into this reality of bills and all that shit, and I think like the kids is getting it. The kids is getting it because I watch how the youth is like communicating, and it's like they're becoming more free and more understanding of what they deem to be uh closer to the truth than what we saw coming up. Like it's not the same. They're looking at the examples, and they do have like YouTube. If say a kid go through a broken heart, and then they say, "Well, how do you get over a broken heart?" And then they find red pill. They find it earlier. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's on its way to change. I'm just saying for us as men, we have to support that change instead of just complaining, because complaining is cool, but how are you going to resolve it may not happen for you per se or for me, but it may happen for the future. And that's where my mind is like, let me just guide the next generation towards that tomorrow where it becomes more fair in the court system, where you know it works out beneficial for the child first, not for the mother, you know. So
Exactly.
I don't think we're going to see it in our lifetime, but I think that we're going to see the glimpse of it before we leave here, that it is changing in that favor for the child, what's best for the child, you know, because I think a lot of men feel the same way as you, Kyle, also as you. I don't know your name. I don't see your name.
And
Lawrence,
Lawrence,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So I think that I think that we're gonna have to do the sacrifice for our generation, just for their generation, to prevail, where it's more fathers at the home, and it's more like two-parent households, rather than just, oh, if I'm having a bad day, oh, I'm gonna take it out on the father because I'm extremely selfish.
Well, don't, well,
Like
don't, don't, well, don't,
that's
don't, well, don't get me wrong. I mean, don't misunderstand me. It's important for both of them to be there. I mean, don't get me. I mean, I stand by what I said about the role of the father, but there's also an aspect that the importance of having a solid woman who's a good mother plays a role too, because they balance each other out. The father keeps the mother from being too whimsical and off her rocker and just jumping at anything whole 9 yards. The mother adds a certain amount of empathy as a woman to keep the father from becoming cruel. You have to have a balance of both. You know what I'm saying?
right.
It takes both. My issue is that if it's going to have to be a single parent, it is far better to be a male single parent than it is a female single parent. That's my point.
Yeah, all the numbers show
I
that.
agree. I agree.
You know, but I mean, the optimum choice for me, man, is always going to be both. It's always going to be both.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that. Both, if they are on point. That's what I'm trying to say. But it's important for that. It's important for that kid to have both of them there, because there's a balance that teaches them how to be equal. It teaches them how to feel emotionally and empathetically to other people from the mother's side, but it teaches them how to be rational and logical, reviewing that emotion from the father's side. You have to have both. You have to have both. But like I said, if it's going to be a choice of single parenthood, I gotta tell you, the man beats every time. He wins every time.
Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I lived with my mom when I was growing up, and like my mom doesn't have that much empathy. Like, my mom's not that motherly, and I don't have much empathy. Like, the reason that I like my girl, she's a great mom. She's got plenty of empathy. She's great with my son. Like that's like I wouldn't be able to give my children empathy if it wasn't for having a woman in my life that could, because I'm not cut that way. Like, I'm just not cut from that cloth. Like I like my whole life I've been seeing people die, and like when I got sober, I seen more people die. Like, death, like I don't feel sad about death. Like, I didn't cry when my father died. Like I just don't have empathy for stuff like that. I just don't. But like my girl, she's teaching her son as best she can. She's a good mom. Like, out of the same, like, we all have our problems, but like at the end of the day, there's a lot of things in life that are gonna make bad behavior be okay. And like, that's the things that we have to stop, because like when you have slut walks and you have like every show on television talking about how single moms are like the hardest job ever, and like everything is so catered to women in the sense that like nothing they do is wrong. Even when they do stuff on television that's wrong, people still give them the benefit of the doubt.
Well, yeah, but
That's the thing that we have to change.
Yeah, but you got to understand there's a reason for that. You have to read between the lines. That whole thing about single motherhood is the hardest job in the world. It may be right to some degree, but there's a reason why why it would be correct. Not because it proves anything of significance, but just the fact that it's hard because they made their life hard. That's why it's hard. I mean, that's it. You made wrong choices. You have to suffer the consequences with it. And instead of just accepting it and trying to improve yourself, you want everybody to sign on and play the violin for you. That's really what that is. No more, no less. Give me one group of fathers you've ever seen come out whining about being a single parent. You won't see it. You won't see it. It's just for sympathy and resources, because they can't get a man after making their mistakes to give up their resources. So now they want to go on the backs of other men who pay taxes to get it through welfare. That's all that is. That's all that is. It's just, you know, it's parenthood is hard, period. You don't get to single it out because of your gender. You know, you feel what I'm saying? Right. Parenthood is hard as it is. You don't get to single it out for your gender. That's not how that works. You know what I'm saying? I got 4 daughters, man. Okay. Going on what? One's going on 32, the other one's 28, the other one's 22, and the other one will be 18 in September. And I'm telling you, it's hard.
Can I ask you a question, Lawrence?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Was you a hoe in your past?
I was not. I was not. I lost. I will be 53 years old this month. Okay. And I can honestly tell you, I spent close to half of it being celibate on purpose. I didn't lose my virginity until 19 because because in my mind, if it was important for a female, it was just as important for a male. I waited.
I didn't lose mine until I was 19.
I waited. I was in no hurry, even regardless of what all my boys was talking about. Go get some. I didn't care about that. Like, being on my purpose was more important. Going to school, getting my learning what I'm doing, and I grew up in the hood in Brooklyn, and that was in the 70s and 80s. You know what I'm saying? So, I didn't care. I didn't care about all that. I didn't care about it. And that's to me one of the things I think a lot of young men coming up need to learn now. Okay. The chase is not about the pussy. It's not. The chase is about the purpose. The chase is about getting on your grind, getting your hustle, getting yourself straight. Because like the saying goes, you don't have to chase women. If you got money, they will find you. They always do. It's like a built-in radar. It's like a built-in radar. All she got to do is see how you dress, how you flash your wallet, where you hang out. I'm telling you, they coming for you. You ain't got to chase them. You don't have to chase them.
Do you think it's the actual money, or do you think it's the ability to make it? Because I more put it as the ability to make the money rather than the money itself. I think it's
now see, that's where it's tricky, because that totally depends on the level of woman you're dealing with. If you're dealing with a hood rat, it's the fact that you have money. If you're dealing with a higher grade woman, it's about how you make the money.
At the end of the day, though, it's pretty much the same thing, because if you
bottom line,
money, if you have money, you make money, or you've made money. And like, if you're broke, you can still make the money. So it comes down to the same. It's the same idea.
But the thing is, like, with the men, they think that, okay, like the problem with the kids today that I've been watching, right? Like, they just talk about, oh, I have money. So they think that that's the valuable part of them, is the fact that they have this tangible item rather than the ability to make this tangible item. They don't glorify that part. They glorify the item. And, you know, I think that's where, if we could get them to see that it's you, not the money that you have, but it's the ability that you have to make the money, I think that's where clarity will start to happen. Well,
I'm sorry, good. I'm sorry.
No. Yeah, that's why I think clarity would start to happen. So I understand what you're saying. The theory is correct, but the theory has been embedded inside of us since young. Like when I was younger, I used to listen to Jay-Z and all that. All Jay-Z talked about was how much money he had, and how he got the money was by selling drugs here. And
Yeah.
he had 100 bricks, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I
100
know.
bricks,
I know.
and
I know.
99 bricks, and one rhyme could beat that and all that stuff. And he glorified that part. So the kids is getting to the money quicker, like you say, like these young boys, they like, you know what, I'm gonna do that because it got that result, and that's the
No,
result that I want. This level of pussy is what I want. So
you're missing something on that.
uh,
What young kids are getting to the money?
what kids?
What young kid? What demographic?
Oh, okay, young black kids. We're saying,
It's not race.
what? Okay, young poor impoverished kids.
Children from single families.
Yep.
True.
Yep.
True.
Yep.
And that's that.
Jay-Z,
that goes back to yep.
Jay-Z,
You're right.
Jay-Z
You're right.
was what? He had a single mom
Yep.
in the hood.
Yep.
Lil Wayne. Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Mhm.
Yep.
Any other rappers you want to go through?
Nah, I agree with you.
Even that idiot Jay-Z.
And what was the mother complaining about? Bills.
Let me tell you something. There are two moments in the history of this country with the greatest wealth transfer in its history. That's the upper 1% taken from the lower 99, and that single mothers taken from the fathers. There have been no greater moments of wealth transfer in the last 20 years. And you can go check that out. You don't have to take my word for it. You can go check the stats. I mean, we're talking about men having like 90% plus of their wealth and everything they've built given. As a matter of fact, when I went through my divorce, one of the things that fascinated me the most is that it used to be part of the law that the only thing a woman could take or get part of during a divorce was what you had accumulated together. If you came in to that marriage with your own stuff prior, you were allowed to leave with that because it wasn't community property. That no longer exists. She can take the house your grandfather left you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't tell me that's not massive wealth transfer. And then we talking about bank accounts. We're talking about child support. We're talking about alimony. We're talking about his pension. We're talking about his retirement fund, his 401k. We're talking about any stocks he had. I mean, come on, man.
Pension.
I mean, yeah, I said pension, yeah. And so at the end of the,
but at the end of the day, though, the pension is the biggest thing because that's something that, like, that's not even money that you have yet. That's something that you've worked to get, and they have it before you get it.
Mhm.
You have to cancel, like, if you have any sort of assets for retirement and stuff like that, you have to cash it in and give it to them. So you have to not only cash in your 401k and take a 10% loss on it because you have to pay all the taxes and whatnot on it, but then you have to give them half of the value of what it was worth.
Yep. And that's just the start, because you got to remember, in certain instances, there's stuff that she can continue to collect on forever.
Let me ask y'all a question. My fault.
Mhm.
Let me ask y'all a question. If today, right? Like, I know none of y'all plan on getting married or nothing like that, but I'm just saying, like, if you
look, man, I'm in the middle of my second divorce, bro.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
That I'm tapping out. That's it for me.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I'm just saying, like, what would be the ideal relationship? Because it's not going to be perfect. Where's the signs? Like, because I feel like we do see the signs, we just ignore it. But what is the signs that you can say, okay, I could maintain a long-term relationship with this?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. Kyle gonna have to take that one because you're not gonna like my answer. For real. I'm being straight up honest with you. You're not gonna like my answer.
No. I've answered the question. That that with expectation on the other side. I'm just trying to hear y'all out or what y'all see, and
there is
all.
none. There is none, and I'll tell you why. One, there's no such thing as romantic love. Disney and everybody else has got us buying into a whole bunch of propaganda. Number two, whether you believe in evolution or faith based, I don't really care. But it already stated that men love, women have to respect. That already proves right there that they have no concept of true love. Because the idea behind true love is about sacrifice, about willing to give of yourself, about willing to put yourself last if need be. And we're not even talking about protection and everything else. They don't do that. They don't. They even claim like there was a couple of young ladies I was having a conversation with, and they were talking about how, this happens to their children, no men being around, all that good stuff. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, yeah, but you know what? That's on you. What's the men's fault? How is the men's fault? We're not there in the house, so how do we do it? It's all on you. It's all on you. But me personally, nah, I that romantic love and all that other stuff, I don't believe in anymore. And I'll say the same thing I've said before. I don't care if it's my mother, my daughters, my wives, my ex-wives, whatever, friends, whatever. If it's a female, they're all like that. That's where I stand.
Yeah.
So the only woman that I would get married to is the girl that I'm currently with. If it doesn't work with her, like, it's not ever happening.
So there's a glimmer of hope. So she gives you the glimmer of hope that you can maintain a long-term relationship. You don't see signs. Not trying to talk about you ladies, just saying there's not enough signs where it's like, okay, I can't see a long-term. There's enough signs where it's positive, where you can see something lasting a long period of time.
Yeah, like we have our problems, like all relationships do. But
yeah, everybody.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like, she makes just as much money as I make. She takes care of her kid without me. She's good with my kids. Like, I have kids, so I feel it's important for my kids to be young for me to be married, because it shows them stability, because I can tell you that they're not going to get that from their mother.
Fair enough.
They're not going to get that. Like, my son's mom's she's on her third baby daddy with her third kid. She's 26. So, like, I offered to marry my son's mom when I got her pregnant because I thought that was the right thing to do, and she told me no.
Yeah, that's how I got tagged in my first marriage for that same thing, the exact same thing, because it was the right thing to do.
And she told me no. And my daughter's mom, I would never get married to. Like, you couldn't pay me. And then her mom's like in and out of being a lesbian, so I doubt she's gonna get a stable relationship. So the only person that's gonna be able to have a stable relationship, in theory, is me. So, like, I would marry the girl that I'm with, but if it doesn't work out, then that's just not gonna happen at all. Because I've already told my girlfriend this. If it doesn't work out with her, like, I'm not dating women again. It's not going to go through it.
Like with me and this marriage I'm going through now that I'm in the middle of divorce with, 18, virgin from another country. And if that ain't me hitting all the markers and it still didn't work, I have no faith.
How long were you married?
Coming up on 30 years.
And why'd y'all are getting divorced? What happened?
Because she asked for it. Mm-hmm. The anniversary, got up, had sex, good day, went out for anniversary dinner, told me while we sitting there eating over steaks, I'm done. So like I said, now listen, I hit all the key markers. She was young, 18, virgin, never been touched, and not even from this country, from a different country. And I still got fucked. Like I said, I don't believe in it no more. If I can't win hitting all the bases, I'm not gonna win ever.
Yeah, that's like losing on a great ticket.
Mm-hmm. That's like the Buffalo. Okay. That's like the Buffalo Bills choking at that Super Bowl. You right there at that touchdown, and you can't make that kick. Come on now. Come on.
What? Okay, but wait a minute. Hold up. right? I'm sorry, man. I'm just saying. She was 18. Do you think that she just want to experience life? And another
No,
thing,
no, they
right?
were together for years. They were together for what you said, 30 years.
Almost 30.
Yeah, so
No,
she's in her 40s now.
Yeah, 45.
right,
Mhm.
right. But you're the only person. Like,
No, see, that's where you're mistaken because I thought I
oh,
was.
okay.
See what
See,
I did? No, see, because
yeah,
don't get. I was the first
there
one to
we go.
hit it. I was the first one to hit it. But what I found out afterwards is recently is that there were others in between
Mm,
times. So
yeah,
like I said, I hit all the points that are necessary to make sure you choose the right one. And like I said, I didn't rush into it. This was like a 4 to 5 year buildup before getting married. So it's not like I just
right.
jumped right into it. So I did. I hit all the right moves because I knew the mistakes I made the first time.
Mm.
And even making all the right moves, you can still get fucked. Nah, I'm done. I'm
Well,
tapping out.
why don't you try polyamory then, bro? Like
because
having
because
multitudes of women.
because if I'm going to be totally honest with you, I was always at my happiest when I was celibate.
Oh, okay.
I was always at my happiest when I was celibate. I didn't bother with it, didn't worry about it. They didn't enter my mind, and they didn't cross my path. I'm good, and I'm okay. I'm totally okay checking out like that. Totally okay with it.
That's cool. All right.
So,
Shit.
but if you could see the moments spread out throughout my life when I've always reached my pinnacle, it's always been during that time. Every major accomplishment, every success. Yeah.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I cheat on my women. And I don't feel bad about it because I don't think that there's anything wrong with it.
Okay, so
Like
then,
honestly,
so if you
I
didn't,
really don't think it's wrong.
so if you
I'll
didn't
go.
think there was anything wrong with it, you would have let it be known that you do it, that you like you ain't.
Oh yeah, no. I let it be known. I don't lie to them. But I don't go out and tell them, hey, I'm about to cheat on you. Like, no, I if I get caught, I tell them the truth. Like, yes.
Yeah, so like going and stealing from the store, then going back the next day and telling on yourself is still wrong.
No.
Exactly.
If I get no. Let me break this down to you, bro. I don't get caught. If I get caught, I tell them. So if the store owner catches me and
So
say, "Hey,
what
you're
you're saying
stealing,"
is,
like, yes, you are
so what you're
correct. I am
so
stealing.
so I'm just gonna put this out here. You shouldn't cheat because you're messing it up for everyone else. Stop. You're messing it
Well,
up
well,
for everyone
taking
else.
yeah. Well,
And
taking consideration, my first marriage was along the same thing. We met in the military. We were both in the military, and married for 5 years. By the time it was said and done, she had slept with my best friend, three of her old high school friends, and four military buddies. And now, mind you, she was from here and she was white. The other one was black and from another country. I'm telling you, they're all like that. It makes no difference to me. Not anymore. It doesn't makes no difference to me. Now you can call me black pill, MGTOW monk, whatever. I don't know. I don't care. All I know is that right now for me, that's a wrap. I don't
What's the
even want to
black
have.
pill?
That's when you don't deal with them at all in any capacity,
Okay.
and that's where I'm at. I mean, man, the way I'm at right now, women walk up to me, say something to me, I look at them, turn around, and walk away. They ask me to hold. I come out the door. I let the door go. It's like, why didn't you hold the door? Look at them, turn around, walk away. I got nothing for them. And don't get me wrong. This is not hate. It's not. It's not hate. It's not anger. It's just that I'm done. Everybody gets sick and tired of being sick and tired. And this
Right.
is my moment. I've had and this has been going on since I was a kid. I mean, my mother would just dog me out in comparison to my little sister or my little brother who she control and dominate, and I wasn't having it. It goes into my sister and all the things she's done to me, my aunts, my cousins, yada, yada, yada. This is not me just making a decision because of two women I happen to be sleeping with and had children. It's not that. This is me looking at the entire pattern from the beginning all the way up until now. And all I keep coming up with is the same thing. They're not worth my time. I haven't talked to my birth mother in 12 years.
Oh my God.
10, 12 years. Because she told me, and I quote, if you ain't got no money for me and you can't do nothing for me, you just as useless as your father. Mind you, my father died when I was a year and a half old, so I don't know. But yeah, man, look, dudes, I got stories for you. And that's how, and that's what I'm saying. The conclusion I've come to now, I know a lot of what I went through has to do with what I went through as a child. And the feelings that was made because I was looking for people to compensate for what I did not get from her, you know, and that and buying into the whole societal thing about what true love is and all that muck and, you know, and the fact of the matter is none of it's true because they all want us to play by rules that they don't want to follow.
Right. That's why I cheat. That's why. Like, that's why I cheat. Because it's like, yo, you're going to do what you want. I might as well do what I want. If I see something that I like, I'm going to go for it. Now, if I get caught, I'm not going to lie to you because you're not going to compromise who I am. I'm not going to tell you no lies. But I am going to step out. And I think that it kind of builds the humility within them because they know that they don't float on air when you do it that way, rather than lying and saying that their intuition is going haywire and all that stuff. It's like, I cheat. I cheated on you. And then
well, for me personally, the reason I don't do it is because I've already been a victim of it. So I know how that feels. I'm not trying to go that route on nobody else.
Cheat. You shouldn't.
I mean, whether I went through it or not, it's wrong. But the fact that I have gone through it and I know the emotional turmoil that brings, I would. It's just not. Well, first of all, it's not me. I'm just not built that way. I'm just not. And if I can't get loyalty, then I just assume not be bothered with you. So
you heard it. Chris Brown said it best. These hoes ain't loyal.
This is true.
Yeah, but you. So you keep that's faulty logic. Like either you got to have morals and stand on them and be a man, or you have to not have morals and not stand on them. The whole point about standing is about standing on your morals and being willing to die for your morals. Cheating on women because they could or could not do something to you. That's just toxic.
And I'll tell you something else.
I'm toxic.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something else too. Forget about the fact of it being women. Let's just talk about being men. Society and the universe as a whole is founded on the principles and concepts that men have put into place, whether it be through stoicism, whether it be through strength of will, or whether it be through logic. But the foundation of everything we exist by is founded by men. And once we throw those standards out, just for the sake of something as simple as getting a piece of ass, we become less than men.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I said that right, but that the point I'm trying to make is it diminishes us, not them, because at the end of the day, we become the same as them, and that's not the game. That's not the game plan.
And not even that, but even if you don't want to say all of them cheat, if you just want to go on a simple premise. Do you go to the store and steal?
No, if I have to, if I'm starving, see, that's the thing.
Okay.
If I'm starving,
so
yes,
right,
I will steal.
Okay, so that's woman logic.
Yeah, that's outlier. That's outlier. That's outlier commentary.
You're moving to the minority and using that. Like either you steal or you don't steal. I'm not talking about
circumstances.
You talking about okay.
Like either it's wrong or it's right.
I don't steal.
If you have to make an exception for a rule, then it's a shitty rule.
Exactly. And I'll tell you something else too. Even though you might do it because you're starving, you still know it's wrong.
Correct.
So it changes nothing at the end of the day.
Yeah, you're just hungry.
Well, see that's what I have to disagree with that. Because I think that let me get this point out. I think that we're taught that it's wrong. I don't think that's actually No, let me get the thought out, bro. I think that we're taught that it's wrong, but realistically, we're born in the society where we have to pay for things. But realistically, we have resources, enough resources here where we can all eat in plentiful. Like we
Okay,
can
quit being a
all. So
socialist.
no, I'm not. I don't
No,
know what
no,
that word means.
no, no,
First off,
no.
I
Let
don't
him.
know none of
Let,
that shit you
yeah,
saying about socialists. I don't know what that
let
is.
you let him
I'm
finish.
telling you straight
Yeah,
up. I'm
because
telling you straight up.
I don't think he's talking about socialism. I think I know where he's going. I don't think he's talking about
I don't know.
socialism.
I don't know none of that
Yeah,
shit. I don't know none of these
but
words. I'm
go ahead,
just
go ahead,
speaking.
go ahead. Finish your thought though.
There's enough resources for human beings to live without paying bills and all that shit and all these money rules that we're born into as taught to us that this is very valuable. This is why I feel that the disconnect between men and women exists is because we're born into this society where it makes us think that other things is more valuable than what we are to each other. So the thing is, like, I don't think that it's stealing when it's already here and it belongs to all of us. Like everything that's on earth belongs to each person because we're sharing the shit at the same time. But we put these rules and regulations and all that shit in the way to make us think that, oh, this is actually stealing,
That's
because this.
socialism.
Okay,
I
now,
don't know that shit, man. I don't know
well,
what
well,
you're saying. I don't look
well,
up that word. I don't know.
well,
Not
here's
being no
the.
socialist. I'm not none of that. Like, I'm just
Listen,
saying, like, go on.
people have the right to own property or they don't. It's that simple.
See,
Because if people can own property, then stealing bad.
Mm.
Yeah, because I was with you until you got to the last part. When you got to because I thought you were trying to make a different kind of point. But when you got to the last part, you might not know it, but you are talking about socialistic concepts. Because at the
What?
end of the
What?
because at the end of the well, no, I'm just telling you what it sounds like. I mean, maybe you mean something different, but what it sounds like is that's where you're going. But here's the issue with that concept, because I don't want to get on a whole political thing, because that's not what Kyle's show is about. But here's the thing: whether it's available for everyone equally is irrelevant. The fact of the matter is that somehow, some way, based off human nature, there will always be people who have less than others. That fact cannot be denied. And I don't care whether you use capitalism, socialism, or whatever, or what direction you're going. At the end of the day, there will always be haves and have-nots. It's always been that way. It will always be that way, and it will never change. Even whether it's from an evolutionary point of view, where the biggest dude in the tribe got the most women and the most meat, or it can be from a faith-based point of view. Even the Most High himself has people staggered in importance. So
Facts.
it's been like that since day one. You know.
Okay, so this
Mm.
is what. Okay, I this absolutely gets under my skin, and I hate when people try to say it's society's fault, and we were born into society. Okay, money. This is how simple this. Money, all it is a medium to trade values. That's all it is.
Mm.
All money is. Money is not some super crazy thing.
Nope, not at all.
Money is just a thing.
It's a tool.
So back in the day, okay, so that's how this worked. Before there was money, you need clothes. I need food.
Barter.
You had food. I had pelts. Okay. So then we traded. But then I also needed iron, but the guy that had the iron needed pelts, and I don't have any pelts. So money is a medium that each one of us can have, and we don't have to go and trade with this person and that person and this person to get the one thing that we need. It's not this magical thing. Money is
Right.
only worth what it is because it's a set value so that you're able to carry that and barter with in an easier system. That there's not enough stuff for everybody is because of this right here. You go to work right now for Domino's, correct?
Right.
You get paid pizzas.
Right.
Okay, can you? I live in Cleveland. Can you drive to my house and give me a pizza for free?
I could, but that would take a long time. Your pizza be cold.
But you couldn't do it for free because you'd have to pay for the gas, pay for the maintenance on the car, and you had to buy the pizza. And like he said, your time. Nothing is free. Nothing.
You can't force other people to give up their time or their labor for other people.
It's a cost.
That's why you can't have free stuff.
It's a cost benefit ratio.
Has to put the labor in.
Yeah, cost benefit ratio. That's all it is. No more, no less.
Okay.
That's why socialism doesn't work, and that's why there's not enough food to feed everybody because you can't So if you're against slavery, if you're going to say that slavery's bad, and we can all agree that slavery was bad, how is it that now leftist people or the black community has this idea that other people should be forced to give up their labor for everyone else? And that's okay, but we can still talk about how screwed up 160 years ago.
Yep.
And say that all of our problems stem from 160 years ago from something that we never seen. But today, while I'm breathing, I want to enslave other people to give me more stuff because we're rich. Like it doesn't jive.
I don't know what your pedigree is, but as a black man myself, I'm with Kyle. I can't co-sign that because I follow the common sense rule, because the way it always works is that you always pick out one particular type of person to make the enemy of everybody to join them together. And when you run out of that enemy, you're going to pick somebody in your group to be the next enemy. So my math is that once they're done coming for people like Kyle and his money, and that runs out, who's next on the list? Whoever looks like me with money. It's good, and it just cascades from there.
I looked up socialism and all that. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Marxism?
Okay, I'll look that up next. Okay.
You're literally saying like Marxist and socialist talking points.
Okay, I didn't look up none of these isms or none of that stuff. I don't know none of that stuff. I'm just saying we're rooted differently. Like I think that if we unlearn the stuff that was put into us as information and really look at it for what really is going on, like for instance, the pandemic, right? As much as we can talk shit about how money and all this trading and all that shit, the reality is a necessity to breathe freely, right? We're not in control of that, right?
Money doesn't mean anything.
Wait, say that again?
Money doesn't mean anything. Like
it doesn't.
You haven't been following the news. Because I'm white, I got that white privilege. I'll write Donald Trump and have him send you $200 billion tomorrow. Now, when he gives you that $200 billion, if there is no one working to produce food to be at the store, and you can't go to the store and buy food, your $200 million means absolutely nothing because there's nothing to buy with your money.
Correct.
Like money, it's just an avenue of trade. That's all it is.
And I gotta and to keep it simple, you gotta remember this. And this is the one thing a lot of people don't understand or refuse to accept, or whatever it is they're doing. You gotta stop thinking of money as the end goal. It is not. Money is simply a tool to get you to your end goal. But that's all it is, and that's all it will ever be, a tool. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, money is just your time. That's really what it comes down to. And at some point, when you accumulate knowledge, you're able to increase the amount of money that you can exchange for your time. And at some point, it's cheaper for you to pay for something to be done than give up your time to do it. Like,
Yeah.
all it is. Time is the ultimate trade.
Okay.
Now,
y'all
what?
be something else. I'm just saying.
No, I was.
I'm trying to get it
No, I
out
was
there.
gonna. I was about to.
Listening to
What?
y'all, and I hear you. I hear you
Yeah,
clear.
but I was gonna say, I do agree with you about a certain point when you were talking about changing the ways of society. The thing about it is that yes, I agree with you. The ways of society needs to be changed, but it's not a question of socialism or Marxism. I think it's more along the lines of how we interact with each other in relationships and the dynamics thereof. There's a lot of things that used to work back in the day that we could use now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like young men and boys out there acting buck wild. We would have a system in the community that would shame them back in place. You know what I'm saying? We would have elders who would tell them, you need to rack this up and you need to tighten up. You know what I mean? Then in that respect, those aspects that I agree with you on, if that's where you were going with it, because that's where I thought you were originally going with it. From a societal point of view, we need those values back. And we need to reinstitute them and get everybody back on point, because in the Black community, we were far more successful in our marriages in the 50s and 60s than anybody else was. We had the lowest divorce rate than anybody in the 50s and 60s.
Even in the 20s and 30s.
That's correct. Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, especially if you're talking about Harlem back in the day, for sure. But yeah, we had that. And the interesting part is that even if you had a solid marriage, right, and the husband had a side piece, he would keep her on the other side of town. He would take care of her rent or whatever it was. And the woman, even though she might be upset, she would turn a blind eye to it because she knew she was still getting the bulk of the resources and the protection that was required. As crazy as that sounds, it used to work that way. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying that there was a dynamic and an understanding between us as men and women that certain things would happen, whether you liked it or not. But at the end of the day, even when that man would do something like that, he still got the same shaming tactics from his boys or from his elders to tell him, look, you need to wrap this up, man. I know you enjoying yourself, but you got to go home, man. You got to take care of your family. So, those type of things need to come back where we keep each other in check. We've gotten to the point now where everybody just ignores what's going on, or I don't want to speak up, or you can't even have a basic conversation with a woman without her turning into a man and screaming at you, like she's ready to take you into the ring and go 5 rounds like Joe Frazier. I mean, it's just it's crazy.
I hear what both of y'all are saying. I agree with both of y'all. I'm not saying it all started when I said I cheat. This is what I'm saying. This is where this turn happened, where it's like you shouldn't do that. That's wrong. In
Correct.
my opinion, it is not wrong. And what I'm trying to show you, my opinion, is that what I'm actually doing is just being natural, being in my nature. I'm moving truthfully. I'm not lying to myself saying, let me withhold myself from doing what I actually want to do. That's where my mind is. So that's why I say I cheat. I may be using the wrong word with the word cheat, but I like to what's the word, antagonize people when it comes to that word, because I don't put value on that word, but a lot of people put value on that word. The thing is that I move in my nature. I don't allow myself and hold myself back from moving into it. And that's where I think a lot of men lose themselves, and then they get shocked when a woman moves in her nature. And then she's doing what she's doing. And then they get hurt, and then the red pill community starts and all these things about women nature and all that stuff. It's like, what about our nature? We have the same ability to do the same thing. Why are we not following our nature? And that's why I was saying, like, the resources and all that stuff. Everything is plentiful for all of us if we kept our share. Our body communicates to us, right? It lets us know when we're horny, when we're hungry, when we can hear and shit. It's a natural communicator, and I feel like we're disconnected with our body, and we put this word knowledge and words and language as so much more valuable than what is being communicated within ourselves. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I know I use cheat, and I know that that's the word that bothers you, but I'm just moving in my nature, and
No, the
I'm
word
not
doesn't.
compromising myself.
No, the
I'm
word
not
doesn't.
compromising.
Yeah, the word doesn't
No,
bother me. No, the word doesn't
okay.
bother me. It doesn't bother me at all.
I I'm not compromising my nature for another person when I'm not telling myself the truth. Myself is saying, this is what I want. This is what I'm attracted to. I'm going to go for that. Why do we stop ourselves from doing what is real within ourselves? And we're having a dialogue with our movements and our nature, and we're trying to condense our nature to say, no, that's wrong. You shouldn't do that, because think of the other person. But we know women's nature. We know women's nature ain't thinking about us. So why the hell are we always the ones that have to think about outside of ourselves? And if you want to view it as, oh, that's just being a man, that's not a good enough excuse for me. I need something to support the excuse, so I can say, okay, you're right. I agree with you. I am wrong. But I just feel like I'm moving in my nature. And I
Well,
don't fault them for moving in their nature, because
well,
they're
can I?
going to do it anyway.
Well, this is true. Well, I have two questions for you, if
Okay.
you don't mind. The first question is, what do you define as truth?
I feel like the body tells us the truth. Like, I feel like my body, everything that, like, if I'm hungry, like, I think that we condition our body where we start thinking that certain things is the truth, like cravings and all that stuff. But I think that eating is the truth. I think that breathing is the truth. I think that fucking is the truth. Like, I think these things, these roots that we can't live without, these are actual truths. These are all things that we do on a daily basis. Horniness, hunger, fucking, but then those things are being fucked with. So it's like, okay, what makes you hungry? That could be fucked with. Like, these are the things that isn't true, but it could be taken as a truth. So I just try to root myself through what my body is communicating to me,
Okay.
instead of just Mhm.
No, I'm sorry. I thought you were done. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. I try to root where my body is communicating to me, and I try to find, like, the stuff that hasn't been tampered with along the way, and try to fine tune it where it goes back to its actual root. Like, even the air is being tampered with, and an air is more attractive. So, like, a scent could be more attractive than regular air, but the air is actually the root. The scent has been tampered with. So when I'm breathing in the scent may be more attractive. So I go to that scent because I'm attracted to it. Like, that's
Okay.
where my mind is at.
All right. So the second question is that when you use the word cheat, my question is with all the women that you're engaging with, do you let them know that you're seeing other people?
Yes.
Okay. Because
I
that's
don't
what
lie to them.
Yeah. Well,
I
that's
don't
what I.
lie.
Yeah, well, that's what I used to do. I used to date multiple women, but I always made it a point to them that I was seeing somebody else. That's that, because that's why I asked you, how do you define truth? Because if your idea of truth is not to tell them that you're seeing other people, yada 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 yada, that's one of the key things about being a man, standing in your truth. And if you have no fear, then at the end of the day, look, boo, this is how it's going to roll. Either you down or you're not. I mean, seriously.
I feel like it's being fair to them if I tell them
But
the truth.
but I will say this though. I will say this though. As far as it goes for how you define your truth and being in your body and listening to your body, and that's all good. Everybody should listen to their body. But a man with no restraint or control over his bodily impulses is not a good thing. I mean, to me personally, I think that's him moving more in his feminine energy than it is the masculine, because we're supposed to be about control.
See that's where you're gonna have to go into more of an explanation to make me agree with you. I'm not saying that I disagree. I'm just saying that it's gonna take a lot more to make me
Do you beat women?
understand that.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that that's feminine. I think that that's nature. I think that when
Do you
you
beat women?
starve, do I hit women?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing that I have a issue with. See, this is the
It's
thing
yes or
that
no.
I question. Hold on. I'm gonna answer no, but I have an issue of should we? Because the thing is like, okay, I don't think that it's right to hit women because they're weaker physically. So it's like me using an advantage that I have and taking advantage of the advantage that I have. So that's why I don't practice that. But when women step into masculine energy and they act as if they are, do I just ignore and let them think that, okay, I just out masculine this man? And that's the part that I get
Yeah. So
clouded with.
what I'm telling you
Be-
is, you as a man, you have to know when to have restraint and when not to have restraint. That's the point that I'm telling you.
Okay,
So
but
even in that
what
situation, you can naturally win either way, but you choose to have restraint, which is a discipline, which is what Lawrence was talking about.
I get the discipline. What I'm saying to you is that what if it's harmful and you have to do it to survive? Like say a woman
Eating
pulls
can
out
be
a
harmful.
knife. Of
Eating,
course,
overeating can be
I
harmful. Oversexing can
that
be harmful. Everything
that's
needs
the
moderation. That's what discipline is.
but what I'm saying is the body, it tells you when it's full. It tells you when I can't get it up. You're forcing it to go further than what it's telling you. If you listen to it, it's going to tell you exactly where to stop. Okay, this is now you're overeating because I'm letting you know you're full, but you're going further than that. Same thing with sex. Oh, I can't get up no more. You're going further. You're forcing yourself to go further than what your body is telling you. So the same thing that I'm saying, like, I think that, and this is some real shit. I hate to say it like this. I think a lot of women respect the man who hits them more than they respect the man that don't, because they understand that there's an action that follows when I go too far, when I step into masculine energy. And I'm not saying to hit women. I'm just saying I look from observation and I see the level of respect because a man knows better to not go to another man unless that man knows that this reaction is going to happen. Like
Yeah,
if two men
women.
are engaging in some type of disagreement and it goes further than verbal and it goes to physical, the men know that this can lead to either death or being compromised, hurt badly, right? Women, because they're being protected, and a lot of men, they support the woman when it comes to even that portion where you shouldn't hit a woman, you shouldn't hit a woman. Well, there's not women saying to women, you shouldn't antagonize a man to make him get that far. There's not a lot of women who's doing that. So it's like,
Credit where credit's due. Whoopi Goldberg did call women out on that. I got to give her that. She did do that. She did do that. But then again, Whoopi's in my age bracket, so we come from that old school. She was straight up about it. She's like, look, if you don't want to be hit like a man, then don't hit a man. If you don't want to hit, you don't want to get hit by a man. If he says he's done, walk away. Don't antagonize him. You keep pushing and pushing. I give her credit for that. She did call that out. I give her credit for that. She did call that out.
yeah,
But the
but
best way,
that
but the
my
best
fault.
way to get your masculine energy recognized with respect is to not give your attention to women when they don't deserve it.
No, I agree. I agree. I agree. You asked me a question, do I hit women? I
I
said
know.
no, but I have a problem and it's clouded because I don't think that they're understanding that, oh, because I didn't hit you, I'm not a coward because I didn't hit you. I'm thinking about your safety. I'm thinking about how unfair it is that I didn't do that. But you don't see that. You see it as, oh, certain women consider getting hit as love because of their upbringing. It's like they don't see it as, oh, I'm respecting you. No, I'm gonna keep on. I'm gonna call you a pussy. I'm gonna call you all types of things that can antagonize your ego, even though you shouldn't have one. And you walking away. Now I'm getting mushed. Now I'm getting hit.
Well,
And
for me,
if I turn,
well,
if I turn around and I respond to that, like if a dude does that to me one time, you call me pussy one time, and it's going to be problems. But the dude has the respect because he understands how it is. Where a woman, she goes and presses, because I think that's what y'all call a shit test. I think that's another shit test, just another level shit test, right?
well, the funny thing about that is that my thing with hitting women is that if you hit me, I'm gonna hit you. Because I just, as a matter of fact, just like I had a conversation with a police officer one time, I told him point blank, if she puts her hands on me, I'm gonna knock her the fuck out. And he's like, well, she's a woman. I said, nope. I said, let me ask you a question. By every definition of the law, that doesn't make her a woman. That makes her an assailant. There's no gender requirement for that. So once you touch me, I'm touching you. But outside of a woman putting her hands on me, I don't do it because I've learned a long time ago the greatest pain you can cause a woman in any capacity, even with hitting her, is to ignore her.
Yep.
You ignore a woman and you will watch a meltdown in action. We're talking about nuclear level here.
No, I agree.
So that's what I talk about as a man, maintaining your frame, not letting your body make all your decisions for you, keeping your stoicism in place, and keeping your strength and your center, because the nature of women is to do that. And that's why we have the tools to maintain our frame and to learn to do that appropriately. So that's more important. I mean, that the greatest, to be honest, it's no different than with men. There's certain men, man, you get them. It's all about shouting matches. It's all about mouth. But at the end of the day, everybody's turning around to go back home because nobody wants to explain a broken nose the next day. Nobody wants a black eye. We puff our chests out a lot to each other. So realistically speaking, if we can do that with each other, then a woman just being in your ear calling you names, it doesn't mean anything, especially when we already know it's all shaming tactics. If we know what the problem is, then we can react appropriately. We don't have to step out of frame. It's just like, okay, boo, thanks for your time, peace, and then turn around and walk away. Because I'm telling you, I've tested every method. I've tested every single method, and I'm telling you, nothing works the way like ignoring a woman. Don't pick up her calls. Don't answer her texts. She say something to you, look at her. Don't even say nothing. Turn around and walk away. It works every time, and they lose their minds. They lose their minds.
I happen to be in a relationship where the woman was being physical. I didn't put my hands on her, and I did ignore her.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, like I said, like the level of the lack of respect that she felt that she can do that and she could get away with it because she knew that I carried myself like that type of man. The question that Kyle you asked was, do you hit women? And I know I'm assuming that I understand where you're going with that. The thing that I see it is like there was a disconnect where it's just like the court system, like you were saying earlier, like we're taught this early that, oh, don't put your hand on women. And this is something that's been installed since young. But if that was removed, how would that be viewed? Will the respect, because I can see that you're physically capable of destroying me, will I respect it? Because that's also being taught to them. Don't let a man put his hands on you, or whatever the case may be. And then say the woman is wrong and she's doing something, and then she has some brothers who are killers or whatever. right? These brothers will do something to you, even though this woman is wrong, supporting the woman, and the woman has been getting away with that because people are not telling. They're allowing this to happen. They're allowing uh, that reality to happen when
So
it's
the
not
best thing to
really.
do is just walk away and leave it alone and
No,
ignore 'em.
no. That is the best thing to do for this society. But I'm just saying, like, realistically, like, you're a human being. You have different abilities. That's more than me. Like, I'm never going to be more beautiful than a woman. I'm never going to be better looking than women. So I know that I respect that portion of them, but they don't respect the fact that we are stronger than you. We are stronger, and you have to respect that, because I'm respecting you. I'm giving you that same thing. But when you don't respect me, why should I respect you?
I agree
So
with that.
that's where the cloudiness comes in, where I was taught and installed in my impressionable years, respect women, do this, that, the other. There's a lot of stuff that was installed in my impressionable years, like open the door for a woman, be a gentleman, speak polite, hold your
Mhm.
fork like this, drink like this, make sure you, or whenever she comes, you make sure you run to that door and open that door for a lot of stuff that I'm unlearning along the way. And I'm saying, is that another portion that I should unlearn too? Because I'm not saying that, oh, I'm just going to just, every time I get a terrible mood or whatever, because I rarely get in bad mood. I have a lot of control and self-control. I'm a, I'm just a realist where it's like, I'm not always on the woman's side if she got hit by the dude. I'm looking at it like, did she antagonize the dude? Did
Yeah,
she not
yeah.
respect? So that's where my mind is at. That's what I'm saying. It's cloudy with that. So it's
Well,
like there's something else.
it's gonna have to be a personal journey and a personal choice. Because like I was saying earlier with me, I don't do none of that anymore. I don't open doors. I don't assist with anything. You got heavy bags. Oh well, you want equality, carry them yourself. But I will admit though, is that there are certain ones that I do still do that for. But that's generally elderly women because they're my elders, not because they're women. Does that make sense?
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
You see what I'm saying? So a 70-something-year-old woman needing help taking her bag to the car or something like that, because I'll do stuff like that. I'll hold the door open for her and etc. and so on, because she comes from a generation that kind of still respects and appreciates that kind of thing. But like I said, it's you're gonna have to do the same thing the rest of us do. You're gonna have to pick and choose and associate which points are important to you and which ones that you can throw away. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because for me,
Right.
for me overall, like I said earlier, I got nothing for none of them. I got nothing. I got nothing.
I feel you. I feel
Nothing.
you.
But like I said, when it comes to elderly women, like, you know, I'll be at the store, I'll see a 70-something-year-old woman, she needs something getting off the shelf and stuff like that. I'll help them in a heartbeat. It's reflex, to be honest with you. And I won't lie to you, I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it because I like helping my elders because that's how I was taught. But in addition to that, there's also a certain beauty to it. Because like I said, if I help a young woman in her 30s with that, she just assumes it's something I'm supposed to do.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But with an elderly woman who comes from a different generation, her response is more like she appreciates me even taking the time to consider her situation to help. And there's a difference in that. So that's why I said I'll help the elderly, but the rest of them, they can, the whole shelf can fall on them for all I care. So, you know, but like I said, it's going to have to be a personal thing. You're going to have to pick and choose those on your own. I mean, there's some people that won't help any of them, regardless of age, where they come from, or whatever. It just, it's just a personal choice. The most important thing for us as red pill, black pill, or whatever other ones fall in that range, is us getting past that anger. That's the most difficult part. because the faster we get through that anger, the faster we can start seeing things for what they are, and then following logical conclusions on how to remove ourselves from those situations, make sure we're not in those situations, and not deal with those situations. Because like for me, like one of the first things I had to do with my first wife after we got divorced, I had to learn to change all the buttons, because as long as I kept the buttons the same, she knew which ones to push. You see what I'm saying? So it's got to be your call, and you got to start adjusting things accordingly. It pissed her off because within 60, I think it was less than 60 days, I had no feeling for her. I could care less. I changed every single button she could push. I changed, and it freaked her out and turned her on at the same time. She actually ended up calling me maybe about 6-7 months after it was all said and done, talking about getting back together, and maybe we can work it out in the whole 9 yards. And I didn't even get emotional. I went totally logical on her. I said, well, what did I say? I told her, what was it? I appreciate you calling me, and I appreciate you sharing your feelings with me. And I respect that. However, under the current circumstances, considering everything we've been through, I don't think it would be fair to me, to the children, and most importantly, it wouldn't be fair to you if we got back together. And she's like, fair to me? Why would you be worried about being fair to me? Because no matter what you say or what you do, every time you walk out that door, or I walk out that door to go to work, my mind's only going to be thinking about who you're in here with. And you could tell me from now until the end of time that you're not doing it again. And you may actually live up to that. But I'm going to be honest with you. It won't be fair, because I'll always assume you are. She didn't know what to do. She did. And from that moment forward, she never spoke to me again.
All right,
she never spoke to me again. So
you guys have any last thoughts? I'm about to end this stream. I'm about to go to sleep. I got to get up in the morning.
Oh, geez, I'm sorry. I lost track of the time. I'm sorry, man.
No problem. Your first joint, son. Your first joint, man. Well, my last thoughts is like, I'm looking through the comment section, and I see a lot of people. Join in, people. Come back next time he has one, so we can continue this dialogue, or continue the dialogue that he puts forth. And living your truth. That's the only thing I gotta say.
My last words were the same they were a few minutes ago. The most important thing to me, for all of us as men, is helping us get past that rage as soon as possible. Because the quicker we come out of the tunnel on it into the light, man, we can get on our grind, we can get on our purpose, and we can make everything work. And look, every chick would just be sitting there on the side of the road, just like CeeLo and Fuck You, wishing she was there. But other than that, that's all I got. Don't tell them, show them. That's what I'm saying. Don't tell them, show them. That's all I got.
Do we call you Kyle, or do we call you Savage Red Recovery now?
You guys can call me Kyle. It's fine. My channel is just not my name.
I like Savage. I'm keeping it.
SRR.
I'll call you Kyle over at MTR, but over here I'm calling you Savage. All right, but gentlemen, it's been a pleasure.
It has been a pleasure.
All right. And Kyle, congratulations on your first stream and your first show. I wish you much success. I truly do.
I appreciate it. I'm going to start uploading content next week. I might do another live stream on Sunday. Tomorrow I'm going to be with my boo, so you know how that goes.
Right. All right. Well, I got all my notifications on for your channel, so I should be getting them as soon as you start putting them in.
All righty. I'll see you guys.
All right, man. Have a good night.
Peace, man.
Bye.